All right, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? This is another episode of On the Mic with Mike. I am your host, Instructor Mike, on the side of the road. And I have a guest who's a firearms enthusiast and also fellow instructor who shall remain nameless. You will hear her only by voice, fellow black person, yeah. And we are talking about the National African American Gun Association. You heard me say some comments before, and I did some more research, okay? First of all, shouts out to the National African American Gun Association. I'm not saying anything negative about that association, but there was a video that was posted online on a television program by Vice, okay? And that program that was on that television, that television program Vice, it was talking about, the comparisons between the National African American Gun Association and the National Rifle Association. So I know you all asked before, show me the video, show me the video, show me the video. So I figured I'd just gone ahead and show you the video, and then we'll let you hear it from the person's mouth. And then I just got a few more comments about that because the issue, in my opinion, still hadn't been resolved. So let's talk about that. I'll let you watch the video, and then you'll come to your own conclusions. Here we go. Now, I just want you all to have heard that directly from her mouth, that when asked the question if there was a comparison between the National African American Gun Association and the National Rifle Association, the first thing that was said was, there is no comparison, okay? There is no comparison. I want to give a shout out to the National African American Gun Association for them completing their first not NRA, but NAGA course. That's the acronym of their association, the National African American Gun Association. They made history with their very first instructors certification courses. 12 people from all over the United States of America went to Georgia, and they got certified as National African American Gun Association instructors, NAGA instructors, right? And so this is supposed to be a course that exceeds the standards of the National Rifle Association and the USCCA, or the first in its kind, right? Because it's very extensive. It's not your basic pistol instructor course or any of those other courses. And when you dig deep into the article, it said that this course was developed by the nationally known and highly respected firearms training duo, Tiffany Johnson and Akil Kadir. Hope I'm saying the names right. They were outstanding and demonstrated black excellence at every level. This is arguably the best instructor course currently on the market due to the high level of instructor knowledge and standards required. Additional courses have been selected, and due to high demand, the March class has already been filled. This is especially gratifying in their 5-year goal achieved during Black History Month. And I do want to say congratulations for that, because as a black person, it's important that we make history in doing things, because firearms in our community is definitely something that is long overdue. We have been denied, and in cases of that, we also have had the fears of using firearms, so that has assisted in the delay of what we should have been practicing long ago. But with that compliment sandwich, I got something to say. Tiffany Johnson and Akil Kadir, great job on developing the course. But when you dig deeper, and you learn about the two, they are certified, especially Tiffany Johnson. She's a practicing attorney. Wonderful. from the University of Memphis. She graduated there, law school. She's also a NRA training counselor. NRA training counselor. Right. So, so let that sizzle on your soul. It's wonderful. Hold on. Let's play the video again.
How does that compare to the NRA?
There's no comparison. We are not the NRA. We stand for our people. The NRA has failed a lot of issues.
So I'm going to cut it right there because I wanted to focus on that statement made by a regional director of the National African American Gun Association. You cannot fight systemic racism with selective racism. And that's not to state that this organization is racist, even though some do feel that way. But you cannot sit there and say, we are not the NRA, when the main people who created your course got their knowledge and certification from the NRA. You are standing on the shoulders of those who have come before you. You're an NRA training counselor, a range master certified master instructor, right? You're also USCCA certified. You got 20 plus years of instructor experience, Tiffany. And this isn't, Tiffany didn't say any words. So disclaimer, this is not an attack on Tiffany. But, right, if you're going to say that you're better, you got to withstand scrutiny. Right? If you're gonna say that this is the best course and you're gonna have members associated with the association make certain statements, you gotta be willing to stand 10 toes down on it. Now, could the NRA have done some things better? Absolutely. Regardless of race, we all feel that way. Could their outreach have been better? Yes. Regardless of race, we all feel that way. But when the people who created your course are standing themselves on the people you got problems with, and then you want to say you are not them, when we dig deeper, we see that you are in fact them, because they gave you the foundation of the knowledge that you have. And oh, by the way, you're range master certified. Guess who owns it? White. Tom and Lynn Givens are two white people who don't see race, but they are assisting you in developing a platform for you to stand on your own. And I almost guarantee you, if you dig into their history, they got certified by the NRA too, because they are the longest lasting game in town. They have been here for over half of the nation's existence. So what I'm saying is this: as a new association, the National African American Gun Association, you don't build bridges on divisive statements. What say you, my lovely friend? I'm just saying, right? Now, you call yourself, it's not called the African American Gun and Rifle Association, AGRA, right? That would be a good acronym. It's called the National African American Gun Association. And what I'm saying is this: I am in Chicago, right? Chicago is in Illinois. So is my friend who's also on the phone. Right now, we are in the fight for our FOID cards. We are in the fight for our concealed carry licenses. A great percentage of Black or African Americans reside in Chicago. So if you are going to call yourself national, and us Black folks are up here dealing with a fight on the political level to be able to give us the ability to carry firearms or possess them in our homes or out and abroad, how can you call yourself national if my NAGRAs are not here on ground zero in that fight to make the Illinois State Police process our FOID cards and our concealed carry licenses faster? As a very popular instructor, I certify thousands of people, and have certified thousands throughout the years. And the one thing that stands in the way is how fast they process those licenses. How fast they process those FOIA cards. These people need that stuff. What's the purpose of going through the class if you gotta wait forever to get something that you're supposed to get? And so how do I tell my people to join an association such as the National African American Gun Association if there is no national representation on the national level here locally to help us get our licenses faster? I mean, you think about the power of the NAGAs, right? And I'm not saying NAGAs as in the organization, the NAGAs as in the N-word, right? People get mad and want to protest, they burn shit down. Guess what happens? Now you got a bill asking for police reform. Now you got the Laquan McDonald tape that's released showing the atrocities of Officer Jason Van Dyke in shooting Laquan McDonald. Don't tell me that we as black folk don't have power to make shit happen. So I'm saying to the NAGAs, the National African American Gun Owners Association, I might have added that owners in, where my NAGAs at? Where my NAGAs at? Because I got a bunch of black folks that want their certifications, not their certifications, they want their licenses, they want their FOIA cards, and the state is taking forever to make that happen. So if you gonna call yourself national, don't be divisive. Get in on the ground zero where the fight really is, because y'all down south. See, I think that's one of the things that they don't understand if you go call yourself national. See, they down south, right? So y'all been living in a state in the southern part of the United States where y'all been able to carry guns, maybe not black folks, but people in that state have been able to carry guns long before black folks started carrying guns. And so black folks were able to carry guns as a byproduct of what the white man been able to do for a long time. So y'all not suffering from the Democratic plantation that's keeping black folks down and keeping us from able to actually protect ourselves. How is Illinois the last state in the union to finally authorize its people to carry firearms concealed? And then you want to say you are not the NRA? But not for NRA versus Chicago, but not for the Illinois State Rifle Association, which got its motivation to become an association from the NRA. But not for the Second Amendment Foundation. When NAGA was nowhere around, we in Chicago would not even have the ability to be able to carry a firearm in Chicago. So how do you want me to abandon them? Let me shut up, you talk.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, how do you want me to abandon the fathers whose shoulders I stand on?
You can't.
You can't.
There's no way. There's no way around it.
You can't say you're not the NRA, but you standing on their shoulders. Now, let's talk about this. I mentioned this earlier. How many people paid their dues? How many people paid their money, their membership fees, but were not active in the legislative processes of the association, was not active in your local NRA association chapters or whatever they got? I'm not even an NRA member, but I'm an NRA instructor. You see what I'm saying? This association doesn't require me to be a member to be an instructor, right? I'm just saying, I don't do divisiveness. I don't do selective racism to fight systemic racism. And I'm not saying that's what they represent, but that's what it appears to be. Firearms is the one thing that brings all races, all creeds, all nationalities within the United States, whatever, at least, together. That's the one thing that we can count on, that you could be a racist white person, and I could be a person who don't like racist whites. But when we get to talking about firearms and the other party knows you know what you're talking about, boy, we begin to see commonalities. And from that firearms conversation begins other conversations about culture, about race, about this. You begin to, that's the one thing Trevor Noah said on The Daily Show. Racism cannot survive contact. The minute you begin to have contact with the person you can't stand because you're a racist, that's when you begin to get that experience that, hey, maybe they are not all this, or maybe I was taught that. I was taught to believe this, but my experience shows me this. And if firearms can be the one thing that can bridge that gap, don't you sell me chains I ain't been in. Don't you tell me to crap on the people who made it possible for me to stand on their shoulders and educate other black folk so that we can be able to carry in as much as we can without taking into consideration the political battles that continue to this day to block us from being able to carry. It's so many people I have certified who are still waiting for their FOID cards, still waiting for their concealed carry licenses, and they applied a year or 2 years ago. So my NAGAs, where you at? Because the fight for black folks, if you are that, is here, ground zero, not in the South where you've been comfortable. Come up north and join us in the fight. Or that, or you're not national, you're regional.
Agreed.
I'm just saying, if you ain't at ground zero, where you at, baby? You don't have those problems down south. And what you not admitting is because of the white man that made it possible for you to get your ability your long ability to be able to carry. Boy, please. You want me to convince my people, my followers? I'm not saying you're asking for that. You did not. But I would love to tell my people on my platform to join the National African American Gun Owners or Gun Association. When you start coming up to Chicago, don't tell me, well, have you gone to your local Chicago chapter? Miss me with that. Miss me with that. You get all 34,000 people, take a flight, come here to the state capitol. Let it be known that the National African American Gun Association wants you, urging you, demanding you to step it up when it comes down to the processing of these licenses so that our people, the American people, the African American people, because it ain't just affecting blacks, it's affecting whites too. It's affecting Hispanics. It's affecting Asians. It's affecting other folks. So if you really want to put your work in, get up here to Illinois. Get up here to ground zero. Let it be known. Let it be known. Let it be known that you national and not regional. You think it's my words. It ain't my words. I'll let you hear it for yourself again. Because out of the horse's mouth, and I'm not calling her a horse, but out of the horse's mouth, you need to hear it for yourself.
How does that compare to the NRA?
There's no comparison. We are not the NRA. We stand for our people. The NRA has failed in a lot of issues when it comes to African American shootings, police-involved shootings specifically. The NRA is not historically black organization, and we are. Our people aren't necessarily going out and arming up against the police. We're arming up because we're realizing that the police aren't there to protect us. We have to protect ourselves. We call the police. They're kneeling on our...
Come on now. Come on now. These ain't my words. These are her words. Now, I ain't heard nobody else say nothing like that comparing the NRA negatively to NAGA. But how you say you for your people and your people up here are struggling? Your people up here are suffering. The NRA, every time there's a legislative issue getting ready to come down the pipe, we get an email from them at least letting us know, hey, they're about to write a law and it's going to affect you. File your witness slips, get your people together, call your representatives. I haven't gotten one email from any other association. If you're going to call yourself national, let's do some national shit. Otherwise, you're just regional. I love you enough to say this. And the minute you think you can't take instruction from someone else, the minute you think you too good to be chastised, the minute you think you can't be, approached in this manner, you already lost somebody like, better, or stronger than me. I'm telling you, you can't call yourself national if up here in Chicago, this is the fight, and you ain't ready to go in. That's all I got to say about that. Shouts out to you guys. Oh, my God. Shouts out to you guys for your instructor course, because I was a critic. I still remain one. But it's good to see in February you all got your courses up. Cool. Let's get them NAGA certified. Yes, y'all acronym. Y'all did that shit to yourself. You get them NAGA certified so they can get black folk teaching and doing it the right way. I love it. But don't shoot shit on the NRA when the person who founded your instructor course is standing on their shoulders. When the people who helped them get theirs is standing on the shoulders of the NRA. The NRA can definitely do things better. But when you are standing on the shoulders of those who made it possible, don't you dare fix your mouth to shit on them entirely. Criticize them publicly and say, yes, you could do better. Criticize them and say that, yes, your outreach can be better. But if you're going to get big as an association, you will also need to learn this. There are some things you just cannot speak upon. Because as an association who is also sponsored, by other people, the minute you start getting affiliations, you will learn that if politics make strange bedfellows, associations do too. This is Instructor Mike, and damn it if you ain't been trained. Follow me on Facebook at Mike Brown, Instructor Mike. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and yes, Mike said it. Subscribe to this YouTube page, Instructor Mike. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. Get your ass in someone's concealed carry class. It is no one's job to protect you but you. Shouts out to the Chicago Tribune for having me, the 761st Gun Club, a NAGA affiliate, and other people, the National Shooting Sports Foundation, Rhonda Ezell with Chicago Guns Matter, who's one of the litigants in the case that made it possible for us to have concealed carry in Chicago and in Illinois. Shouts out to them. Shouts out to the Chicago Tribune for having all of us in the paper to show how we are starting to do what we should have been doing a long time ago.